And right now, brand new details about the nearly 100 special operations forces and nearly 100 bombs used to evacuate a U.S. airman missing more than 36 hours after his jet went down behind enemy lines in Iran. The serious firepower reportedly included 4 B-1 bombers, part of a larger air armada that dropped nearly 100 2,000 satellite-guided bombs to ward off any Iranians who were trying to find him and ultimately getting into some heavy fire. Let's step back because you can't overstate the role the CIA played in this. Remember, on Thursday, the jet goes down in the Khuzestan province. They rescue on Friday the pilot, but the weapons systems officer climbs into a mountain crevice. The CIA initially used deception campaign inside Iran to throw the Iranians off of the scent. We know that the airman is alive. He's hiding. He's using his seer expertise to evade and survive, but yet we don't know where he is. It's been described as a needle in a haystack. So the first part of the CIA's campaign was to put out that they had already located the airmen and were doing a ground extraction, a ground exfil, putting the Iranians off the scent so they were chasing what they thought was a ground operation while we brought in the air search and rescue. Now, the deception campaign confused the Iranians and allowed the CIA then to use special technology, never before used successfully. We don't fully know those details, hopefully learn more, but the CIA using state-of-the-art technology to continue to locate the airman. He climbs to a 7,000 elevation mountain crevice hiding spot and is able to transpond. Ultimately, there were initial concerns, by the way, because the U.S. thought this might be a trap. The first transmission reportedly from that airman was "God is good." And with that, let's bring in retired CIA operations officer Scott Uehlinger. Scott, this is remarkable, this operation, the CSAR that is going to go down in the history books and be studied for years. But as I said, the CIA played a huge role. Walk us through some of the details of how the CIA made this a success.
Well, one thing we're seeing is the product of increased CIA military cooperation, which started basically at 9/11 and has gotten better ever since. So initially, I believe the communications were monitored by the CIA, which then passed it on to the military, who were able to formulate the rescue plan. But then someone in the CIA, or perhaps someone else, because we don't know for certain, formulated the deception plan, because with the weapons systems officer so close to Isfahan and hiding in an area that has a lot of Iranian activity, it was decided the deception operation would be necessary to convince at least some of the Iranians that the exfiltration was undergoing and that a ground convoy was moving toward the Gulf for a maritime exfiltration.
And Scott, we understand that some special techniques, some special technology never before used by the CIA was employed here. Do you have any insight into what that might be?
Well, one thing I know for certain is the pilot communications have been greatly improved since the Vietnam War. And so what we have now are communications which are capable of burst technology. So that initial "God is good" transmission was sent out, but it was sent out in burst technology very quickly in a way that prevents its interception or its direction finding, which is very important. So that's a marked improvement over what has existed before. And that allowed the forces to kind of marshal, understand the pilot was in a certain area, and then later on, the pilot was able to transmit a transmission of greater duration, which provided the necessary information for the rescue.
And the CIA technology communicating with the downed airmen, you know, you heard President Trump talk about in one of his social media posts that the airman was never alone. We were always there with him. And it seems to me that that was made possible because of the CIA's technology.
Yeah, I think so. Certainly the Reapers were also sent in the area. So I think fairly soon after the weapons systems officer was hiding, he could hear that there were friendly aircraft or drones overhead. And plus the burst technology of his communication system works both ways. So he would probably have received an assurance that help was on the way to sustain his morale.
And Scott, just in the few seconds we've got left, I've got to ask you, as someone as experienced as you with your work with the CIA, from the CIA deception plan to the technology employed to the size and daring mission of this rescue, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, certainly not. This is far and away perhaps the greatest CSAR mission I've ever heard of. The coordination of so many elements of the U.S. military, whether it's Special Forces, the Air Force, or even the CIA, means that we have the ability to do things that basically no other country on the planet has the capability of.
You're spot on. I've been saying it's a CSAR for the history books that will be studied for a long time. Scott Uehlinger, thank you very much for taking time.
Thank you.
So right now, new details about the intel used to find a U.S. colonel missing for more than 36 hours behind enemy lines in Iran. First, the CIA spread inside Iran disinformation that he was already been rescued. At the same time, they pointed his location inside a mountain ridge for the search team. Our next guest ran intel operations for NYPD against Iranian terrorism, retired NYPD inspector, also attorney, Fox News contributor Paul Mauro. Paul, talk about the agency. Johnny Radcliffe deserves a lot of credit in the CIA. That means that they had human intel on the ground for this to happen.
Yeah, the key to understand about intelligence is that it's not as glamorous as people think. It's not like the movies. You got to collect, you collect, you collect, and a lot of it sometimes you're never going to use. The key is when you need it, it has to be there. So let's go to the Maduro case, for instance, by the way. So when it came time that they wanted to run that operation, the agency was able to confirm where he was going to be, where his wife was going to be, so in such a pinpointed way. They got him as they were running to a safe room without a scratch. Everybody comes out without a scratch. They got them as they were fleeing. That's how detailed the messaging was. And that's how synchronized the operation was, because in real time, they're talking to the eye in the sky. The helicopters, special ops guys that are coming in, that takes tremendous coordination. But it has to be there when you need it. And this case in Iran was one of those situations where the bell rang, guys, what do you got? The president turns around, Hegseth turns around, they all talk to Radcliffe, and they say, what do you got, Director? And fortunately, it was there.
So every country does disinformation. Now, some use it for the battle space, like we did in this case. And some of it, you get it from the Iranians every day, claiming victory, saying they're assassinating leaders, and they really aren't. Explain to us how a disinformation campaign actually works, though.
Yeah, see, and that's a good example of what I'm talking about, because if you're just tweeting things out, and this goes on right now relative to the Iran war, you see Iranian operatives and proxies putting stuff out that you can read right through.
Just lies.
They're just lies. It's laughable, blah, blah, blah. I go back to all the way to the Iraq war when you had Baghdad Bob coming out and saying, okay, well, we are hitting back and they're fleeing and everything else. Meanwhile, our tanks are in the background behind the guy. You got to be able to do disinformation in a way that it passes the giggle test. And that means, once again, you have to have people embedded in places that you need them. And you may never need them. But when the time comes, you need to be able to press that button to say, OK, what do we do now? And Radcliffe's people, in this case, when the time came and they turned to him, he said, I can do this. I don't like to speak for the guy, but I'm just intuiting.
You're right.
This is how it goes. I got this, I got this, I got this. This is what we can do. And there's no arguing with the success. They had such disinformation going on. The Iranians didn't know where the pilot was in their own country, in their own terrain. But we did. What is that? Imagine it in reverse. Iran is trying to find somebody in the mountains of Montana or something, right? You wouldn't know where to start. That's what these guys pulled off.
So I guess the big question with the last 30 seconds that we got left is, what has changed? We continue to hear that we're using technology that we haven't used before, whether it's the agency or our military as well. Have we always had this and we just didn't use it? What's going on here?
I mean, the biggest change in this area is obviously in the cyber world, because in the old days it was all a lot slower, and now you have to do it in the very active world using satellites and seeding this stuff. But I got to tell you, at the end of the day, one thing that anybody does intelligence knows, it comes down to people.
Right.
It does come down to
Get
you.
the right leaders.
If you think that you can sit in a cubicle someplace and get everything you need to be done, that's not how it's going to go. You need people in country, in dangerous areas, Americans working on our behalf that you'll never hear about. You'll never hear their names. They're doing this kind of thing. They're running the sources so that, again, when you need it, they say, my source is good. This is what he's telling me. And look, you're sitting as a boss. You turn around to your person. For me, it was detectives. For him, it's going to be his agents. You got to say, listen, we're going. There are lives depending on what you're telling us. Is your source good? And you have to believe that agent when he says, my source is good, we can move.
We don't hear about these people. They don't write books. They don't do interviews.
That's right.
We don't hear the good or the bad that they do. I'm sorry, if we keep them or if we lose them in battle. So great job to them. Thanks, Paul.
Thank
you can catch Paul Mauro, watch the weekly rap sheet on Fox Nation, and catch new episodes every Friday.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.